Good evening, and welcome to Global Perspectives. Tonight we delve into a question that pushes the boundaries of our ambition and responsibility. Should governments significantly increase their investment in space colonization? The dream of new worlds is as old as humanity, but its cost is measured against the pressing needs of our own planet. To debate this complex issue, we're joined by two distinguished experts, Dr. Kenji Tanaka, an astrophysicist and a vocal proponent of space exploration, and Dr. Elena Vance, a socioeconomist and author who argues for prioritizing Earth-based solutions. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Isabel. It's a pleasure to be here. I believe that looking to the stars is not an act of escapism, but a fundamental necessity for the long-term survival of our species. Relying on a single planet, however beautiful and resilient, is an immense gamble. We face existential threats that we cannot fully predict or control, from catastrophic asteroid impacts to novel pandemics or irreversible climate events. Space colonization is our species' insurance policy. It's about creating a backup for humanity, ensuring that all our art, science, and history don't vanish, because we kept all our eggs in one terrestrial basket. But this isn't just about survival. It's a powerful catalyst for technological innovation. The challenges of space are so extreme that they force us to invent solutions that have profound benefits back on Earth. Think about the technologies we take for granted. GPS, advanced medical imaging, water purification systems used in disaster zones, fire-resistant materials that protect our firefighters. Many of these are, quote, spin-off technologies, born from the research and development that space missions require. Investing in space is investing in an engine for progress that drives human ingenuity forward in countless fields. Finally, let's not underestimate the power of inspiration. The shared goal of reaching for another world can unite humanity, encouraging collaboration over conflict. It inspires our children to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It gives us a grand, hopeful vision for the future, reminding us of what we can achieve when we work together. It's an investment in our spirit as much as our survival.
Thank you for having me. Dr. Tanaka paints a very compelling and romantic picture. However, I believe it's a dangerous fantasy when viewed against the stark realities we face today. The core of my argument is the concept of opportunity cost. Every $1 billion spent on developing a habitat for Mars is $1 billion not spent on combating climate change, which threatens billions of people right now. It's $1 billion not invested in eradicating preventable diseases, not used to provide clean water to the nearly 800 million people who lack it, not dedicated to lifting communities out of extreme poverty. This isn't a matter of choosing between a good thing and a bad thing. It's a direct trade-off between a speculative, long-term goal for a few and the immediate, desperate needs of many. Furthermore, I question the ethics of this endeavor. What message are we sending when we pour resources into a plan to escape Earth? It suggests that our planet is disposable. It allows us to avoid confronting the difficult political and social problems we've created, our unsustainable consumption, our pollution, our conflicts. Our primary ethical responsibility should be to care for our first and only home, not to dream of a new one before we've learned to be good stewards of this one. Finally, while I acknowledge that spin-off technologies exist, this is a remarkably inefficient way to solve problems. If we need better water purification systems, we should fund hydrologists and engineers directly. Giving that money to a space agency in the hope that they might incidentally invent a solution is an indirect and wasteful path. The return on investment for direct, targeted research into our planet's problems would be faster, more effective, and more equitable for the global population. Our focus must be here, on the ground.
Dr. Vance, you make a very strong case for focusing on terrestrial needs. Yet, Dr. Tanaka argues that space programs are a unique engine for innovation. While you argue for direct funding, can you deny that the extreme challenges of space, like creating life support in a vacuum, force us to create truly groundbreaking technologies that we might not otherwise discover through conventional research?
That's a fair question, Isabel. I don't deny that the unique constraints of space can lead to novel inventions. The problem is one of scale, efficiency, and priority. Yes, we might develop a new type of solar panel for a Mars rover that is slightly more efficient, but the resources poured into that single project could have funded the installation of thousands of existing, highly effective solar panels in a developing country, changing lives immediately. The benefit is not proportional to the cost. It's a matter of gambling on a breakthrough versus implementing a solution. We're told to be patient, that these benefits will eventually trickle down to the average person. But the inspiration of watching a rocket launch doesn't put food on the table for a family struggling with poverty. It doesn't lower the sea levels for a coastal community facing displacement. The argument for these indirect benefits feels like a hollow promise when measured against the tangible, immediate suffering that we're choosing to deprioritize. It's an innovation model that serves a very narrow set of interests, while the world's most urgent problems require our direct and undivided attention.
Dr. Tanaka, turning to you, Dr. Vance has raised the powerful point of opportunity cost. She frames this as an either-or choice between space and Earth. How do you justify the immense expenditure on colonizing another planet to a family struggling with high healthcare costs, or a community whose livelihood is threatened by climate change today? Is it not, as she suggests, a luxury we simply cannot afford?
I fundamentally reject the quote, either-or framing of this issue. It's a false dilemma. A capable, forward-thinking society must be able to do both, address immediate needs and invest in its long-term future. It's not a choice between the two. It's a requirement to do both responsibly. A family pays its monthly bills for food and housing, but it also saves for the children's education and for retirement. They understand that neglecting the future is as irresponsible as neglecting the present. The same is true for us on a global scale. Furthermore, this argument ignores how interconnected these issues are. The advanced satellite technology we develop for exploring the solar system is the very same technology that allows us to monitor climate change with incredible precision. The research into closed-loop life support systems for astronauts has direct applications for resource recycling and sustainability on Earth. The investment in space is not a diversion from solving Earth's problems. It's an integral part of developing the tools we'll need to manage them in the future. It's not a luxury. It's a strategic investment in our continued prosperity and survival.
In the end, this debate comes down to a simple question of priorities. Where does our primary duty lie? I argue, unequivocally, that it lies with the 8 billion people on this planet and the delicate interconnected web of life that sustains us. The dream of Mars is a seductive one, but it's a distraction. It diverts our intellectual, financial, and emotional resources away from the critical, immediate, and solvable problems we face right here. Before we reach for a new world, let's first commit to saving this one. Let's reinvest in our planet and its people. Let's focus our collective genius on creating a sustainable, equitable, and thriving world for everyone, right here, right now. That's the greatest adventure we could possibly undertake.
Our debate tonight has highlighted two different visions of the future. I believe we must choose the more hopeful and ambitious one. Investing in space is the ultimate investment in the future of the human species. It's not an escape from our problems, but an expression of our greatest qualities, our boundless curiosity, our incredible resilience, and our innate drive to explore the unknown. This is what has driven human progress for millennia. By reaching for the stars, we're not abandoning Earth. We're securing its legacy. We're ensuring that the story of humanity doesn't end here. We must look outwards to secure our future. And in doing so, we'll find the very solutions that help us to prosper right where we are. Let's build a future that's not confined to one home, but has a boundless horizon.
Thank you both, Dr. Tanaka and Dr. Vance, for your passionate and insightful arguments. You've given us all a great deal to consider. The question of whether our future lies among the stars or requires our undivided attention here on Earth remains one of the most significant of our time. Good evening.